You're listening to the official Minnesota Wild podcast, presented by Acrisure.
Is it those details like you focused on much of last season too? It really is fine-tuning a lot of those things.
Exactly. You come in and, first games are there's a lot of emotion on either side, but I would say I felt like the areas that we heavily emphasized in camp were strong. So now you want to keep that foundation, but now we still have to keep chinking away at other things and keep building it.
Those bend break shifts occasionally, were they not as bad as maybe they were? Was it still kind of controlled, I guess, or were they as scary? Bill was saying he always felt it was controlled pressure in the second, but maybe in the first, was it not as bad as it maybe looked when they were really hemming and cycling?
Yeah, I think sometimes it feels like that probably when you're watching the game live or you're on the bench and you feel like, obviously they're getting zone time, and they had some, those things are going to happen, but I do feel like it wasn't, where he was bombarded with breakdowns and things like that. There's other times where the teams are going to make pushes, and I think today the way offense goes now is sometimes once a team, they get in motion and they can play in high ice, it's tough to end plays because it's, there's a shot, there's a retrieval, and those are the situations where I felt we held strong, and then we got key saves in those moments when we needed them.
Outside of Gus, what did you like about the way your team executed those penalty kills?
Well, I think that we were good on our clears. I thought our stands were good, and then I thought the attention to detail of what coming into the game, what we felt their strengths were going to be on the power play. We did a good job of taking those away.
I think Juracek had a tough turnover early. It seemed like he bounced back after that, or him and Goshen played pretty well. What did you see from David kind of in that?
I agree. I think that there's he continues to be a work in progress. The thing I like about it is, there's some mistakes. It's nice when you can make a mistake and it doesn't wind up in the back of the net. But I do see some of the things that we're talking with him about, that there's progress there, and I think it's going to be it's going to be competitive. We have 8 defensemen here now that we feel like David and Zeev are 2 younger guys, obviously with Hunt, but I think that it's going to be competitive to get in. We feel like we got 8 guys that can play, so it's just going to continue to try to build the individual's game and the D-Corps game in general, and then the good thing is we feel like we have that. We have guys that we can choose from, and it should be a competitive atmosphere.
We've talked a lot about the idea of the veteran side of this team, kind of teaching the younger side of the team, that up-and-coming group. Is it interesting to think that at 23 years old, Brock Faber's already become one of those kind of veteran teacher kind of roles, or do you see him that way?
Yeah, I certainly do. I mean, Brock's a young guy, but he's had great experience and a little bit mature, and beyond his years. I'd say same thing for Boldy and Rossi. They're 2 younger guys, but they've played important roles on our team over the last couple of years. But I would say all 3 of them, even though they're under 24, because they have strong experience. But I think the 3 of those guys, just to take 3 of them, a little bit, their focus level, their maturity, just as people, and I think in life helps because they're also close in age to some of those young guys as well. It's not just all the Spurgeys and Mooses and some of the older guys. It's we have some young guys that are key players for us that are close in age as well. So I think that's helped us
with Hartman. We watched last year just like you did, and he had a really tough year. And all of a sudden we get to that playoff series, and Johnny was a completely different player. And he looked again like that player last night. Number 1, is it sustainable? And number 2, in your eyes, what flipped in his game?
Well, it should be sustainable because it's a conscious choice to play that way, right? If you have a player that turns it on and turns it off, that's a choice. It's not an ability issue, right? So it's a conscious choice to play with the right intentions and play the game the right way and do that consistently. And when you do that, then now you're really making an impact as an individual player and a player as a team. In particularly with Hartsey, I think when like, for example, last night, we know the playoffs, but let's take now. I thought that he made good puck plays. He shot the puck. He was good in the face-off circle. I thought his defensive play was responsible, whether he was a down-low center or he was a wing in D-zone coverage. Like, his attention to detail was strong. And when he plays that style of game, he's a very effective player.
Needing a face-off guy now with Sturm out, you talk about Hunt taking on some of that role. He won 5 face-offs last night. Do you look to guys like Hartman Neck to kind of tutor him in the dot?
Yeah, I look at for sure, you look at Eck and Marco, I would say as well, to help Hunter. But I also think Yuroff's a guy that we got to try to find a way to to be able to get in here in short order. As I said, coming out of training camp, you felt as though it was the Ogren, Hunt, Yuroff, Hunt, Haight. Those guys coming in. So yeah, we're looking for those guys to help grow Hunter, but also Danila, because Danila's a guy that we feel had a good camp as well and has continued to progress, and we want to give all those guys some opportunities here early in the season.
Could he play tomorrow or Monday then, Danila?
I would anticipate he would be in. I think it's. I don't know exactly which game yet. We'll have those discussions now, but I would anticipate he would get in here shortly.
And again, you're thinking center position versus playing on the wing for Danilo?
Or possibly, yeah. Not sure yet, but I do think that it's, I think that, Ogie and Hunter played pretty well last night, right? But they got the first crack at it, but it's not that, we felt like Yuroff was that far behind either guy. So we'll just try to see what we feel is best and what the line combinations would be.
Yeah. How do you as a coach manage a young player's kind of confidence? I felt like Ogun was putting pressure on himself later in camp. I need to score. And you wanted to play a direct game even if he wasn't scoring. Like, how do you, in those conversations with these guys or maybe with clips, how do you kind of manage
it really comes down to communication and, pulling his clips. And he and I sat down and talked about what felt like he was going through and where his game was at and what I felt. We talked about what is true, what his identity needs to be and should be, and then we went through clips and showed him where it can be better, but also some things that he did well. And I think usually that helps. I think the players a lot of times, it's conversations first and foremost, but I think also, particularly with young guys, I think just seeing it and reinforcing things or saying, hey, here's where, this is exactly what we mean when we say this, so they have the visual of it as well.
Any clarity on Zuccarello after last night's meeting with the doctor at all? Did you have any more clarity?
Just that he's back working out, and I think he's going to start skating solo, but no different on his time. There's no different on his timetable. It's just this natural progression of moving forward.
For an extraordinary advantage in sports, you need a game plan. For an extraordinary advantage everywhere else, all you need is Acrisure. With a high-tech human approach to insurance, cybersecurity, and more, Acrisure helps you take care of what you care about. That makes winning easy. See what Acrisure's extraordinary advantage can do for you at Acrisure.com.